Hi, this is Bedrest Coach DarlineTurner, owner and founder of Mamas on Bedrest and Beyond. And today is Video Wednesday. Today's topic is meeting the unique needs of mamas on bedrest. You know, so many people have asked me, why do you have a company for mamas on bedrest? They don't say who cares, but their demeanor is, who cares? What's so special about mamas on bedrest? And it's those of us who have been on bedrest or have had high-risk pregnancies that can really say, it's a really different beast. You know, when a woman gets pregnant, I mean, none of us expect to have complications. We all hope we're going to sail through and just have these wonderful transformational experiences. And then for some of us, yeah, it's transformational, but definitely not in the way we were thinking. And it can be really disheartening, but both physically and emotionally, there are some very unique needs that come up for mamas on bedrest. And for those of us who are working with or caring for them, we're aware of these needs that many, many, many other people are not. I bring this up because I got an email from another birth worker, a doula, who said, I just signed my first mama on bedrest and I don't know what to do for her. And, you know, it kind of made me smile because I've had so many doulas go, oh, you know, I know all about this. I can handle mamas on bedrest and, you know, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And many women do. Many doulas do. But by and large, it's a subset of the larger pregnancy population. And there really are some specific needs that you need to keep in mind when you're dealing with mamas on bedrest. So let's just get straight to the point. What's so special? What's so unique? And what do you really need to be cognizant of when you're taking care of a mama on bedrest? Say you're a doula or, you know, other birth worker, community service worker, what have you. What are the unique things that you need to keep in mind and be very mindful of when you're taking care of a mama on bedrest? Well, first and foremost is the fact that she is on bedrest. So, that's going to alter a lot of things, not only from the standpoint of her physiology, but then she's also pregnant, so her whole pregnancy physiology is a little bit different. And when I say that, I mean, you know, pregnant women, you know, they get larger, the fluid volume expands, and, you know, you have to worry about feet swelling and everything else. These types of things are heightened in mamas on bedrest because they're not moving around, so their joints, their muscles and things are not acting on their metabolism in the same way that they are in a mama who's not on bedrest. So when you're dealing with a mama on bedrest, you have to think about how is her metabolism, how is her circulation, how is her muscle strength, how is her body able to move and function, and how is she emotionally. And those are the big things that you really need to take into consideration. So let's start first with some of the easy ones. Hydration, I'm going to take, because people think hydration. Pregnant women need to stay hydrated because they're taking on and creating so much more fluid volume to sustain the pregnancy, not only in terms of blood volume, but also in terms of amniotic fluid. It's really important that they stay hydrated. Now, a complaint that's very common in pregnant women is, oh my God, I keep going to the bathroom because as the uterus grows, it's pressing on the bladder. Same thing happens for mamas on bedrest, but the problem is they're supposed to be on bedrest and they feel like they shouldn't get up a lot. And I hear many women say that they're limiting their fluid intake, and this is not good because, again, because mamas on bedrest are not moving around like mamas who are not on bedrest and pregnant, you know, you have to keep the circulation going. You have to keep body fluids and everything moving, and you need to make sure you have adequate fluid volume for that to happen. You know, intuitively you may think, well, I don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom a lot, so I'm not going to drink as much. But if you don't drink as much, you know, you kind of don't have the same blood volume that's going around. You put a little bit of a strain on your heart, but importantly, you put a strain on your kidneys because your kidneys need to constantly be filtering, and as they're continuing to take care of all the waste and sludge, they need water to be able to do that. And when you don't drink enough water, they're still dealing with the same amount of sludge and a little bit more because they're also now dealing with what's coming off from your baby. They don't have the fluid to kind of keep that system going. So hydration is really important. And we say, you know, 64 ounces of water a day That's still the same thing you need when you're pregnant and on bed rest. And a lot of women think, oh my God, I'm going to be going to the bathroom all the time. Yeah, you will. But amazingly, your body is using a lot of that fluid. So it's real important that you stay adequately hydrated. Next thing I want to take on is diet and nutrition. Interestingly, contrary to what a lot of people think, many women on bed rest actually lose weight being on bed rest because they lose muscle mass. And, they're not moving around as much. So it can really become a problem. So when we're dealing with mamas on bed rest, you want to make sure that they're eating very nutrient-dense meals. Lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of very fresh things, not a lot of processed foods. Because for them, they're going to really need to extract all that they can. Not saying so much that, it's more important than a non-complicated pregnant woman, but, we have to give this woman every possible advantage, if you will, because she's coming in at a slight disadvantage having been on bed rest. So lean cuts of meat, very dense proteins, and with each snack have some protein so we can sustain her blood sugar. This is really important if she's gestational diabetic or even non-gestational diabetic, but diabetic in her regular waking life. That she keep a sustained blood sugar. If she eats a lot of processed foods, sugary foods, snacks and whatnot, she's going to get these big spikes up and these big slams down. Whereas if she has snacks that are like, almonds and raisins, trail mix type of thing, she's going to get a more sustained blood sugar level. Same thing with her meals. McDonald's and stuff, it's okay. But if she's eating something like, lean piece of chicken with a salad or some greens, not even saying that she can't have bread, she can, but you see how that's more of a balance of a lot of different things as opposed to just kind of all processed, kind of sugary, fatty stuff that's going to spike her blood sugar and bring it down. If she has that nice lean piece of protein, it's going to kind of take longer for the body to break down. That sustains her blood sugar level over time, balances things out. The other types of things that you want to watch out for is, does she have pregnancy-induced hypertension or even preeclampsia? Again, the balance of what she eats and how she eats is going to become very important. If it's simply, if you can say such a thing, pregnancy-induced hypertension, you probably want to watch her salt intake because she may be retaining fluids, which is going to increase her blood pressure, which is, another problem. But this becomes even more critical if she's got preeclampsia. Now, there are some schools of thought who say what a woman eats has no bearing on preeclampsia because preeclampsia is, a function of the woman's body and how she's dealing with the pregnancy. But some of the hallmarks of preeclampsia are very elevated blood pressure, protein spilling in the urine, and then fluid retention and swelling, either in the legs, hands, and oftentimes in the face. So why do you want to aggravate that? Definitely cut back on sodium or salt intake. Watch your protein, very lean cuts. If you can, kind of go plant-based, lots of almonds and beans and these types of things, which will sustain blood sugar, not elevate blood pressure, but also be very helpful with the body in terms of metabolism so that we're not straining the kidneys, the heart, and the other organs that are often affected with preeclampsia. Again, there are lots of schools of thought, and there's not a whole lot of evidence and data that this helps, but can't hurt. So we've talked about diet, nutrition, we've talked about hydration. We want to talk about movement. Now, many women are on bed rest because they have an incompetent cervix, placenta previa, preterm labor. What are some of the other good ones? Those are some of the ones I'm thinking off the top of my head that make movement difficult, or for many women, impossible. The doctor will say, I want you to go to bed, I don't want you moving, I want you to do anything. But again, we have to come back to the fact that that means her circulation and her fluid movement throughout her body is going to become kind of stagnant. How are we going to help her out with that? Well, if you're there, you can help her do some isometric exercises. You can help her do some things with bands. You can massage her feet and lower legs. You can give her a little hand massage. These are things that stimulate circulation, stimulate blood flow, fluid flow, kind of getting things moving, getting the lymphatics, kind of taking out all the waste stuff. But this is very important for women on bed rest. Again, massages, again, are wonderful for this. If you are a doula and have a massage background, massage her. One, it'll make her feel fantastic. But two, it'll help move things along, kind of get her fluids and her circulation going. It's really, really important for women on bed rest. Now, I have put together several different pieces on how women on bed rest can exercise. And it's really about stretching, moving, stimulating their muscles so that they don't get stiff, lose muscle mass and strength, but also to keep that blood flow going, keep their circulation going. Those are available on YouTube, Mamas on Bed Rest and Beyond, and oftentimes on our website in the blog, mamasonbedrest.com. Finally, I think one of the, I want to add one more in before I do the final one. Helping mamas on bed rest be very comfortable in bed. As you can imagine, lying in bed, kind of in the same position for some women, often on the left side to keep that blood flow going through the inferior vena cava, which runs along the right side. You can get some bed sores, or not bed sores, pressure sores, like points on your shoulder or on your hip. It's really important that mamas on bed rest have adequate pillow support for these pressure points, which is usually the shoulder, the hip, around the knees, sometimes the feet and ankles. Prop these areas up on pillows between the knees, pillows along the low back, pillows around the tummy even, because the weight of the uterus is going to pull on the spine. So propping that up a little bit will give mama some extra support and some extra comfort while in bed. Finally, is you really need to pay attention to mama's psychological well-being. Being on bed rest is a huge drain emotionally. A lot of people say, well, what could be so bad? You get to lay around all day. It is not that easy. Many women are in pain, they're uncomfortable, and most of all, they are worried sick that they're going to lose this baby. If you're going to come in with a cavalier attitude of like, oh, you just get to lounge, you are not the person to work with mamas on bed rest. But you have to understand and be compassionate to the fact that this is hard work, and many women are carrying a tremendous amount of guilt around it. They feel like they've done something wrong, when we know most times women have done nothing. It's just, unfortunately, kind of a luck of the draw, the law of averages, whatever you want to call it. And you need to be sympathetic to that. You need to be able to help her calm down, to help massage her fears and worries. Likewise, listen to her. Listen to what's going on, because so many women say, oh, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what she needed. If you listen, you'll hear maybe she's concerned about her children. Help her, organize care and transport to activities and things for her children. She may be worried about her husband. Help her organize things such that it gives her husband a break. That'll give her peace of mind. Pets, are you a pet sitting service? She may need pet sitting. But, anything that you can do to help mama feel like she's engaged in her life is going to be a good thing. And anything that you can do to help release that emotional and psychological burden of, oh my God, I'm not getting this done, and I need to help my family, and all these things, is going to be a tremendous help. You are sometimes going to be her only link to the outside for a particular day or for a particular time period. It's critical that you be upbeat, that you kind of know your stuff when it comes to, handling mamas on bed rest, women with high-risk pregnancy, and just kind of be a conduit for her, be an advocate for her. Talk with her, find out what her worries are and concerns are, and help her meet those needs. Believe me, it goes a long way to just making the whole bed rest situation a lot more palatable. People think, oh, it's not a big deal. It is a huge deal. You may not feel like you've done anything, but to a mama on bed rest, it is huge, huge, huge. So those are the top 5 things that come to my mind when I think about taking care of mamas on bed rest, and why it is a little bit different from being a doula or a birth companion to someone who is not high risk. We have some very unique needs, and our bodies are going through the same pregnancy issues and then some. And you need to keep that in mind and be cognizant and realize, okay, if this is what's going on with a pregnant woman, how does that then become altered again with the high-risk woman who is on bed rest? And it's not so much that I'm saying you have to be a medical professional, although you should have some, knowledge of what's going on with pregnancy. And I know most doulas do. I met some really wonderful doulas. But then you have to stretch your mind just that bit further and say, okay, if this is what's going on in an uncomplicated pregnancy, and this mama is on bed rest and she has, preeclampsia, how then do I need to alter what I'm doing for this mama? Do you need to see her more frequently? Do you need to stop by? Do you need to help her organize services and delivery to her home? It's that type of thinking, because it's just that extra step that's going to make life so much easier for mamas on bed rest. And that's it. That's what I do. That's what I advocate for, and that's what I feel is important for mamas on bed rest. It cannot be overstated. While we're not some sort of freaks in nature, or there's just something terribly wrong, well, sometimes there is, but there is some special attention and some heightened awareness, if you will, that you need to have when you're working with mamas on bed rest. And that's all. It's really just training your mind, training yourself to think just a little bit beyond, like, okay, this is pregnancy, this is high-risk pregnancy, mamas on bed rest kind of stuff. I say real easy because that's what I do, but it is easy. It just requires a bit of forethought. And believe me, mamas on bed rest will be enormously appreciative. So that's it for me today, talking about some of the unique needs of mamas on bed rest when you're caring for them. And I hope you have a great Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, good luck taking care of those mamas. If you have any questions or concerns, shoot me an email, info@mamasonbedrest.com. Love to hear from you. I answer every email. Here we go. I'm Darlene Turner, Bedrest Coach, owner and founder of Mamas on Bedrest and Beyond. Thanks.